Hello, and today we're going to dive into our design section of our CMS. Once I'm logged into my application, I'm going to go to the left-hand menu, hit Create, and then Design. Design is going to be where I'm going to be able to modify my home screen and as well as the look and feel of our application. This is where it makes it really easy to build an app in a snap. So as you can see, we have 4 different home screen layouts. We have the slide out menu, the grid menu, the scrolling menu, and the tab bar menu. Depending on which one you pick on, there's a number of different options that can be laid out. So let's review these really quick. For most of the features, and for pretty much all of them, you're going to have the same basic settings right here at the top. Background color, branding, home screen background, and potentially carousel images. Background color is literally the background color of your application, as you can see on the previewer on the right-hand side here. Branding is your logo, and if I go in and edit the branding tool, you can see that I can resize and import and move my logo, and in a snap, it's going to save and show up exactly like how I have it on my application. The branding tool ensures that no matter what you're doing with your app design, it will always stay in relation to where you set it. This is really great if you know your device is being used on a number of different sizes, or your app is being used on a number of different sizes, whether or not it's iPads, iPhones, Android tablets, Android devices. This is a really great way to make sure your logo is clean and clear across the board. I can also add a home screen background image if I want to, and this is really easy to do. Again, it's a complete snap to be able to add. In terms of the size for the home screen background, we recommend a size of 640 by 1136 pixels. This allows the most proper size and scales among all the modern devices. Now, carousel images are images that rotate across the screen. You can have up to 5, and there's some really interesting things that we can do with them. So for example, because I only have one background image, and maybe that's all I want, I can have this as my carousel. I can set it to manual, swipe, sliding, fade, parallax, or Ken Burns, and these are all different types of image transitions. Let's try parallax. I think this may look very interesting. And because it's a carousel image, I can link a feature to this particular image. So if I want, per se, people to be able to see the events, I can link them to the book festival or the kids race and family relay. And that'll be accessible after people click on the home screen on that particular carousel images. Carousel images can be modified to a number of different things. They could be small, they could be large, they can take up the entire screen. It's very nifty in terms of what they can accomplish and what they do. And you'll notice when I click on it, it takes me right to my event for the kids race and family relay. So the intended effect is very good. Now you'll see here that I earlier hit more options. These are really the 4 concepts that you need to get this going. Same with grid menu. It's just the navigation with how many rows you want to show in terms of the grid, the background color, and the branding. For the scrolling menu, you have a few more. You can choose your menu view for list or grid. You also have to choose the background color, your branding logo, as well as the home screen background. And then for the navigation buttons, it's a bit different. Because the scrolling menu has images, or a scrolling menu that moves up and down, you definitely want to have images behind those buttons to make them work really well and look really nice. The recommended width for these images is 1080 pixels. That's really key and important to remember. We don't have a height recommendation because it really just depends on your image, but you'll definitely have to play around with the design. But again, you'll notice, as I said earlier, whatever you click on, there's basic things that you need to select to get your home screen design set. Now, there is a more options section. The more options section will change depending on the layout. But you can select additional buttons, add shortcuts, show the status bar, change the text on the home screen. The more options menu allows for a more customized app building experience. But if you want to keep it simple, again, don't have to worry about it too much. With that being said, I'm pretty happy with my slide out menu. I'm going to jump to navigation here. Again, as you'll see, we limit the view that you particularly have. And if you have the app previewer open on the right, it actually shows you these color changes simultaneously. So I can change the icon color to, maybe I want this to be a dark blue. My menu text color, I'm going to have be a white. My menu background color, I'm going to change to actually black. And my home screen shortcut color, I'm going to keep as white. That's the little icons at the top right or the top left of your application. So I'm going to hit save, and you'll notice again these changes take instant effect within the preview of my application. Now when I hit more options, I can remove the button text or the button icons, also add custom background images to all of my buttons. This is actually more beneficial in the grid view for the slide out menu, not so much for the list. But you can add custom icon background images that go behind these particular images, which is really nice. Again, don't need to open up more options, but it does allow you for a more customized and design style. And last, we're going to look at global styling. So this is how the styling of your app, mostly the features, is going to be on the inside. Again, you can see we have preset and custom options. Custom options opens up the can of worms in terms of what you can do. I like to stick with the presets. It makes it really easy to build. So my main app color is going to be blue. UI bar text color, is this considered the UI bar here at the top, this area where it's blue? So those would be like header images or header colors throughout the entire application. So I want the text color to be white, and I want the main text color, or the main text color of my app to be black. That would show up like here, and where comment says background color. The background color for all of my applications is set to white, and you can see that here when I scale it. I can also change the font across my application, and we have a number of different fonts, both from Apple and Google, which is real nice, and they'll both work on all of them. I can change the font weight if I want to, depending on the font. I can also add a global screen background, which replaces the background color always. And I can also change my header background, this blue area. So if I want something stylized in design, I can do that globally. Again, if I go to custom now, I can now change the UI bar background color, the text color for the UI bar, the background color for my app, the controls for things that people click on, so like the back arrows, the plus, the export share button. I can change my panel and divider colors so that way it scales. Maybe I want black instead of blue. Again, when I hit more options, I'm hit with some of the same similar stuff. So setting up and designing an app within our platform is a snap, and I hope today you learned a little bit more about the design section. Thank you so much.